Before I started today's unboxing video, I thought I should probably put on my vernacular. Vernacular. This is a derby. Welcome back, folks, for another Three Stooges video. Today we're going to unbox the brand new Blu-ray box set. These have been on back order on Amazon for quite some time. Mine just arrived the other day. Couldn't wait to unbox it and show all of you what's inside. So, to celebrate 100 years of Columbia Pictures, the Three Stooges main studio, you can see the 100 years of Columbia sticker there on the side, they compiled a list of 100 Three Stooges short subjects out of a possible 190 to release on this special Blu-ray collection. So I'll take you through the whole thing. I'll actually look at the back of it first here. Get some of the technical information. You get pictures of what's inside the box, that kind of thing. You also get a message telling you not to look at the bottom. Oh, a wise guy, eh? And this box also contains something at the top. And even if yours is still shrink wrapped, you can still play this. Let's listen to the official Three Stooges sound chip. So that's pretty fun, but if you notice on the back it talks about that of course it's not a toy and things like that, but it also says not to attempt to replace the batteries. So I'm assuming once the sound chip battery dies, you're stuck with the Three Stooges box that doesn't talk anymore and there's not a lot you can do about it. I don't know. Now this cardboard piece here you can remove. It came packaged kind of like that. You can slide it off the bottom there. So the packaging on this is very unusual, and I'd found one other unboxing video online before I actually opened mine up so I could kind of see how it went. So it's like this. You pull down the sides and you lift off the top. Sound chip piece is in there. Top, there's where the speaker would be. And then inside, now mine came packaged like this, kind of backwards. I'll take you through each Blu-ray here in a second, but after you pull down the sides, all the Blu-ray packages are in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them. Let's go through and see what all we got. So, Volume 1, picture from An Ache in Every Steak on the cover. In the back, a list of shorts. The bulk of the shorts are Curly's. We have several Shemps, which we'll talk about later. 2 Joe Bessers, some feature films, and then some odds and ends. We'll kind of take it in order, of course. But you got that image. If you open up this case, all the discs feature the same artwork. Also, the menus are the same on each one. It's just a picture of the Stooges. It plays Listen to the Mockingbird, and there's just, you know, a play all or a select feature. And I think most of them have subtitles also. Let's take a look at the booklet here. Each case has a booklet. So the booklet, if you open it up, you get a list of the shorts and also a brief blurb about each one. These blurbs are taken directly from the DVDs. I remember I unboxed all of these and talked about them a while ago. So these same blurbs in the backs of the cases. There's actually only 2 exceptions I could find in the whole set. I'll talk about those a little bit later. But the blurbs are all taken directly from that. So there's very little in terms of original content there. They did fix some typos though. Like the original DVD had a typo on the horse's collars release, and that was fixed up for this set. So they definitely did some quality control. Even though they were reusing them, they were also double checking them. So if you aren't familiar with any of the shorts, of course you have those descriptions you can use, and they're pretty good. Talk about the shorts on disc 1. The only year in the whole set represented its entirety is 1934. And we've seen the 4 shorts from 1934 packaged together many times in the past. It's Woman Haters, Punch Drunks, Men in Black, and Three Little Pigskins. They were even paired up on the Curly Classics DVD. I guess I should say collected on the Curly Classics DVD. But all 4 are indeed available here. I've noticed in looking through what short films were included in this set and which ones weren't, They tended to avoid remakes, so we don't see a lot of the Shemp era remakes and reworkings. A lot of those were released for the very first time on the last couple DVD volumes there. You know, the stock footage remakes, Creeps instead of the Ghost Talks, of Cash and Hash instead of Shivering Sherlocks, that kind of thing. None of those are on this set. Sometimes we've seen those in other weird places, like on the Good Times videos. But for the most part, those remain now basically exclusive to those Three Stooges DVD collections. But not just remakes, shorts that use extensive amounts of stock footage, like the curly short Beer Barrel Polecat seen here, are also not included. They definitely wanted to focus on Stooges originals and ones that don't really rely on material from previously filmed shorts. Are there films on this Blu-ray set that use stock footage? Absolutely. A Ducking They Did Go reuses a scene from A Pain in the Pullman, but both of those are on here. In The Sweet Pie and Pie reuses a scene from Hoi Polloi. That's there as well. But for the most part, all originals, all mostly original footage, that kind of thing. So keep that in mind. If you're looking for remakes, you're not going to find them. And also a lot of the shorts that have kind of questionable gags. None of the ones about Native Americans are here. Most of the Japanese-related World War II era shorts are not here. There are some that keep a little bit of the anti-Japanese rhetoric, like Spook Louder. That's on this set, that kind of thing. For the most part, they're avoiding anything that could be potentially offensive. In some cases, that's a plus, like Uncivil Warbirds isn't here, my least favorite curly short. That's fine by me. Mutts to You, interestingly, they use a clip from that episode in the sound chip on the box, but they don't actually feature that short film here. But just keep in mind, it's not a complete set. I don't doubt that they kind of carefully compiled their list and sort of picked and chose ones that they felt aged pretty well. This one covers 1934 through 1941. Again, 1934 is the only complete year. So if you were to want to watch your way through Stooges shorts in order, you have to do a little bit of jumping around between this Blu-ray set and other releases you had. Here's the second volume. We have a picture from Microphonies on the cover, but weirdly they digitally edited out Curly's headdress as Señorita Cucaracha. This one takes us up into the Shemp era, as you can see. Again, we don't get Shemp stock footage remakes, anything like that. I'll show you the discs are all the same, the menus are all the same across the entire set as well, as I mentioned earlier. I'll show you the booklet here. Descriptions, we have kicking off with Loco Boy Makes Good back in 1942. That's a fun one. But my favorite Shemp short at the end, Fuelin' Around. All good stuff. I've only watched a few of the shorts. They seem to be in pretty good shape. I watched Three Little Beers to make sure it was complete, and it was. I didn't try any of the ones that have the anti-Japanese stuff. I'm sure it's still in here though. They're usually pretty good about not releasing censored Stooges stuff. So take a look-see at the next one. This covers 1950 with Punchy Cowpunchers up through the Joe Besser era. We have 2 Joe Besser shorts, and I don't know quite how I feel about this. I mean, there are only 16 Joe Besser shorts, so right off the bat he's at a huge mathematical disadvantage. There are 97 with Curly and 77 with Shemp. So if you're going to have a set that has Joe Bessers, it's not going to have many. So I get that there's only 2. Both originals, A Merry Mix-Up, which I guess is a remake of Laurel and Hardy's Our Relations technically, and one of their sci-fi adventures, Outer Space Jitters. But interestingly enough, the only 2 shorts that have a different blurb than the DVDs are those 2 Joe Besser shorts. They rewrote them for this release, so either they didn't like the originals, or as they were writing blurbs for the bonus features, they decided to go back and redo those. I don't know, it's kind of weird. I'm glad there are some Joe Bessers here. There are probably better ones they could have picked, like Quiz Whiz, which is my favorite of the Besser shorts. But, I mean, it's okay. And I'm glad that they did include him and didn't just sweep him under the rug there. You can see a picture with Shemp there. Again, discs and menus, all the same. So let's talk about another thing on here. I don't think the booklet actually mentions it. Yeah, the booklet doesn't really go into detail. There are 2 3D Three Stooges shorts that were released in 1953, Spooks and Pardon My Backfire. On this set, They're released in 2D form, so you don't need 3D glasses or anything. They're released in anaglyph 3D, which you can play on any Blu-ray player. And if you have a pair of 3D glasses, you can just watch them and enjoy them. I used the pairs that came with Volume 8 of the DVDs. They seem to work at least fairly well. I have some movie theater ones I'll have to put on and try those out too. And they also have stereoscopic 3D, but you must have a 3D compatible setup in order for those to work. It won't even play unless you have the special Blu-ray player and a TV that's compatible and all that stuff. So mine just gave me an error message when I hit stereoscopic 3D Blu-ray. And I know I've done that before. I have the big Wizard of Oz set that has the 3D version. I can't watch that. My rig, it's not compatible. So you guys just keep that in mind if you were really, really intent on watching those stereoscopic 3D, new versions. Sorry, you gotta have the 3D equipment in order to do it. So just keep that in mind. So interesting assortment of Shemp shorts. Get some of those later ones there, like Three Dark Horses, Goof on the Roof. They didn't pick any of the really unusual Shemp shorts, the ones that feel more like they were catering towards a television audience. We don't see He Cooked His Goose, Cuckoo on a Choo Choo, Gypped in the Penthouse, nothing like that. So they're sticking with pretty conventional ones for the most part. So after we hit disc 10, we finish up the short subjects. There are two cartoons from the Curly era. Both of those were released on the Big Box of Nux collection. Bon Bon Parade with the Stooges, or versions of the Stooges in Candyland, and Hollywood Detour where the Stooges are playing baseball with other cartoon celebrities. And then if you flip it over from disc 10 to 11, we have some Shemp solo Columbia films, some Joe Besser ones, and also some Joe DeRita ones. That goes on the back of the pamphlet there. All of these, the exact same titles in the exact same order, were previously released to DVD on the Big Box of Nux. That's this red box set of... I need to talk about this at some point. I never have. I'll show you. Same exact title list, same order. They did write blurbs for them this time, though. So you kind of know what each one's about. Some of these are really good. I love Curly Joe in Wedlock Deadlock. It's probably my favorite. There's some good Shemp ones too. A lot of them remakes of Charlie Chase comedies. Mr. Noisy is a definite highlight, even better than Charlie Chase's original. But keep in mind, if you have this set, you have all of those on DVD already. I know when I was a kid getting into the Stooges, 20 years ago, those were seen as like the holy grail, and people would sell bootlegs of them at Stooges conventions for a huge upcharge. But now we have them on Blu-ray, all restored, so there you go. Let's look at our next one here. Image from Three Stooges Meet Hercules on the cover. Disc 13 through 14, we have 4 different feature films, Time Out for Rhythm and Rockin' in the Rockies, both of which feature Curly. And the first 2 Curly Joes have Rocket Will Travel, and of course Stooges Meet Hercules. So there's the discs. They still keep the Listen to the Mockingbird menus, and we'll take a quick look at the pamphlet for you. So each movie gets a poster, also a little write-up, and because there's only 4, there's a still image from Stooges Meet Hercules, or a publicity still I should say, from Stooges Meet Hercules. So, I met Samson Burke at a Stooges convention once. Super nice guy. Quinn Redeker too. Amazing, amazing people. Very friendly. If you have the Big Box of Nux, or even if you don't actually, there was a DVD released through, I think it was Mill Creek Entertainment, that had all 4 of those films on it, plus a couple of the features we'll talk about later on. That was available in this set here. But I don't know that any of them were released to Blu-ray previously, so even if you had the DVD, it'd be nice to have it on Blu-ray. Last one, images, or an image there, I should say, from Stooges in Orbit. So this has, on disc 17, Stooges in Orbit. That one was not released on the DVD collection here. Then we have Stooges Go Around the World in a Daze, followed by The Outlaws is Coming, kind of their last official, Columbia feature film. Now, interestingly, we do not get the 1960 compilation movie Stop, Look, and Laugh. That's fine by me. I don't really want to see the marquee chimps and those terrifying ventriloquist dummies. We also don't get their film for Fox, Snow White and the Three Stooges. Again, no great loss there. But keep in mind, Still a couple that you might have to hunt down if you want a complete set, but this will certainly give you the feature films that you need. Then we have we're getting into bonus territory here. I'll show you the pamphlets. Three feature films. We have the 2000 biopic. Now that was released to this DVD set as well. Some people love it, some people hate it. It's not great, and it does kind of edit history, but I will say the scenes where the actors have to reenact classic Stooge comedies is really good. They do a nice job, and honestly it's worth watching just for those scenes. We get that on Blu-ray, and we get two things that are new and exclusive, at least at the moment. Three Stooges Scrapbook was recently restored. A color TV pilot, also has a color cartoon segment. Some of this was redone for Stooges in Orbit, processed into black and white. I know it uses some stock footage, I'm not sure exactly how much. Emil Sitka is the wacky professor, that kind of thing. It's fun to have it here in its restoration. I know Curly's grandson, I think it's Brad Server, really spearheaded that. I met him too once at a Stooges convention. Super nice guy. But yeah, I know he did that. It's nice to have it here in its entirety. I know there's some confusion about how the scrapbook was released. I think the Stooges filmography site said at one point it was all the live action was one release and all the cartoon stuff was another. I don't know if that's necessarily the case. This has both and fully restored, so that was pretty cool to see. And then Leonard Maltin does kind of a quick Stooges retrospective. It's nothing amazing, and they use footage from shorts that aren't included in the set. So that's a little bit different too, but he just talks about the history of the Stooges, some of their important supporting people both in front of the camera, like Christine McIntyre gets a little segment on her, and behind, like director Edward Burns, but pretty cool. It's like 15 minutes long, so I think the scrapbook runs about maybe 25, I want to say. I watched both of them last night, so they were good. And that is that. So at the end of the day, I wasn't going to get this at first because it was about $230, $240 and they slashed the price to about $150, and I said, yeah, might as well. Pretty cool set, and you know I love the Stooges. If you need to build a collection or you're looking to upgrade your collection of Blu-ray, I'd say go for it as long as the price is right. You might have to wait a while. I had to wait a couple weeks for mine, and other people are still waiting for theirs. I guess there were so many orders. And I guess there was talk that this is technically a limited edition set. I don't know. But I was impressed. And the shorts that I watched so far all look good. If I do find one that doesn't, I'll either add it in the comments below or we'll do a follow-up video. Please check out my other Stooges content if you haven't, including sort of the original Big Stooges box set. And the DVD volumes, I go through all of those. And someday we'll get to this one here. I will say, if you like to watch Stooges shorts in order, or you're looking to compare and contrast, I can see where this set might be a little frustrating because you're going to have to jump around between DVD and Blu-ray and things like that. But it is certainly doable. Back in the day we did that with VHS tapes, so by all means we can still do it today. So I know some people saw this kind of as a step backwards, but I think it's a nice set, honors the Stooges and their solo careers to an extent as well, and continues to build their legacy even today. So if you get a chance, I'd say check it out. Until then, my friends, spread out.